All right, Rob Pardi. Joyful. I love the sound of it. What does that word mean for you?
Joy is just wow. It means so much. Okay, there
Okay.
is a difference between happiness and joy, 100%. If you start to really unpack it, happiness is derived by something.
Hmm.
You get a promotion, you're happy. You get a new car, you're happy until the smell goes away, and then it's just a car. But you know, these things create this feeling of happiness, but it's fleeting.
Yes.
Joy is just it, it's like this beautiful contentment for life and for your life, regardless of what's going on. Can I say there were times I was unhappy with the situation that was going on with
You
my wife
just did.
Desiree?
You just did.
So I was
But you
definitely
said it
unhappy at
before,
times.
so I doubt you need permission.
So, oh,
Love
so,
it.
but I can tell you that I was joyful every single day.
Wow.
So the idea of joy, and I say all the time, joy is our natural state. Children are joyful.
Yeah.
They walk around with smiles and wonder and the
They get you
curiosity.
to smile. Like who can't
That's why I
smile at a
call
baby?
myself a
Excuse
kid.
me?
Huh?
Right?
Yeah. Yes.
Immaculate.
So, that wonder and curiosity. So I'll use this as an example.
Okay.
Most people, 99.99% of the people, will stop and look at a rainbow. And there's that little tickle when you see a rainbow. It's like, wow, it's so beautiful, so cool. That's joy.
Hmm.
It's always been there. The rainbow didn't produce it, but you leaned into joy. You allowed yourself to experience it. Vulnerability plays a big role here. Happiness is a way to earn moments of fake joy. And
Ooh, that's cool.
so, but to be truly joyful is to be vulnerable, is to sit there and be humble as well. That, we'll never figure this whole life out. Things happen, they're out of our control.
Right.
But wow, like if I go step on my balcony right now, it's a cold, miserable, rainy day. I'm going to smell everybody's fireplaces and it's just delicious, right? I'm allowing myself to feel the joy of the experience of the day instead of saying, wow, it's rainy and cold and miserable and I can't go out. And what? No, I just know everyone has their fireplaces going and it's incredible. So it ties in a way to that first point, right? Joy is found in the present moment. Joy,
Yes.
if we are ruminating over the past or we are thinking about the future, we are not experiencing what's happening to us. It's so much of it is passing us by. And this idea of moment, it's really interesting because this comes out of like leadership work that I do. A moment basically is when we make a chemical recording of something.
Ooh,
And
right?
there's 20,000 moments. They've measured this 20,000 moments in a day. How many are you really aware of?
Yeah.
That's
Can
a
you imagine if you're
practice.
joyful in all of them, how much joy you'd have? Like,
I definitely try to be. I giggle all the time. I I
child,
wake up in the
giggle
morning and
child.
I'm like, ooh, coffee. I love my coffee. I mean, I'm all by myself and I do something like that.
Right.
But it's because it's that childlike enthusiasm for the life we have. It's getting rid of the worry and the fears and the dramas and just saying, wow, I am here for a limited amount of time and let me play in this sandbox.
I love it. So joy is like knowing as far as that, you know, once you just know and you always will. It's almost like the door closes and you can't go back and unknow. So you have that like right in your system, if you will. And same with the joy. You can just step into joy. Is there a connection there or no?
There is the issue with joy is so many people are afraid of joy. So they armor up because when you truly feel joy, there's that fear of, I may lose this. Oh,
For
this
sure,
feels so
right?
good.
And it's really connected to trauma a lot of times because, somebody, things might have been going like super well in their life, and then all of a sudden, boom, something like really catastrophic, or upsetting or whatever the word is, somebody else and dies, or
Yeah.
yeah. And so it's connected with happiness, joy, all of that. Whereas like I was doing well, everything was going good, and then boom. So they're just afraid that, when's the other shoe going to drop, kind of thing.
Well, that also, let's go back to the idea of fear, right? And
Yeah.
fear is an excuse to stay small, stay in the comfort zone, and so forth. So when those bad things happen, which, and I know for some of the people listening, especially if they've just experienced a bad thing or a loss, it's very hard to hear the fact that it's just life. These things happen, and they just happen. When Desiree was diagnosed, first, yeah, was I thrown for, yeah, I was like a complete mess, right, at the
Right.
beginning.
So your wife
And
was diagnosed with cancer.
yeah,
So
she
yeah.
was diagnosed before her 31st birthday, and it was already late stage. She had 11 of 11 lymph nodes positive. It was, and I had just taken a job in the Middle East. We had planned this beautiful life of travel and everything else. So we made a conscious decision at that moment that the bad event was not going to be the dominant color in the painting of our life. It
Nice.
was going to be an accent color. It was going to be contrast to show us joy. Just like my father was
Wow.
contrast to show me what not to be. So these moments, we can grab them and use them as an excuse to say, see, life is just this way, and I shouldn't have felt that way, and I'm going to protect myself and armor myself up. Or it's going to
Right.
say, okay, this really bad thing happened, and you know what? It really is effing horrible.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use this to see all the beautiful things I still have.
Right. Yeah.
And Desiree, a little story. So my wife Desiree, um, when she was going through treatment, she loved lilacs, absolutely loved lilacs. And so every year I would take her to the Brooklyn Botanical Gardens. I actually had perfume made out of lilac oil way
She would
back
have
when.
loved my backyard when I was growing up. It
I,
was lined
I,
with lilacs. It was so pretty.
So she had this short, fun red wig. She would always change the colors of her wig because, why not? And she literally stuck her head in the lilac bush to smell them. And she comes out and her wig got stuck. And so
Right.
here she's bald and everyone's looking. And, then you get that sad look of, oh, she has cancer. And we start laughing hysterically like kids.
Sure. Love that.
It wasn't a bad thing. Oh my goodness, now you're bald or whatever. It was
Yeah.
hysterical that there it was in the tree, and then
Yeah.
somebody came to try to help us get it out. And
Yeah.
all of a sudden, everyone, it was a contagious situation, and
Um,
that's joy.
yeah. If you're not fighting the reality, you're not going to be embarrassed. It's
If
like,
you're
it
not
is what it
fighting the
is.
reality,
It's
if you're
just a
not
wig.
fighting the reality, you will be joyful.
Yeah, man. I love that. So the idea is experience the moment. And
Yes.
you did. I love that story. It's a good one. So what else about experience the moment?
Well, the moment, and this is it is a very difficult concept. I mean, I still am not really sure how to explain it, right?
Mhm.
But the moment is that you are present with the experience that's happening. There is a beautiful Italian phrase which is sulla mia pelle, which is on my skin. And they talk about that in terms of experiences. I felt it on my skin. That
Wow.
that's the moment, right? Let it in. Feel it. Don't, it's if you are sitting on the couch with somebody you love and you're looking at your Instagram feed while the TV is on, and really, where are you? Are
Yeah.
you experiencing the moment of
Yeah.
your relationship? You're really not. You're both present in the same place, but you're
Right.
not present in the moment.
Yeah, man.
So,
I love it. I love it. I love it. And then there's also like experience the moment without predicting the outcome. I love that teaching of yours as well. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, that's so, you know, we're blessed to be predictive beings, right? We have a great
Yeah,
brain that likes to extrapolate and predict.
exactly.
But the moment you start looking at all the outcomes, so let's say, like this interview right now, if either of us started thinking about, I wonder how many likes it's going to get. Is it going to get me some business? Ooh,
Yeah.
is
We'd
it going
edit
to
our
change
words
someone's
right in the
life?
middle. Yeah.
Yeah, energy would be dead.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here. We'd be answering habitually. We'd be a fraction again. I keep bringing up that idea of fraction, right? All this stuff
Yeah.
fractures the
Ooh,
moment
there you go.
because time, yes, there is time, right? It is a linear measurement. Great. The thing is, we don't know when our time is up. We don't know what will happen. I happen to live in an earthquake zone. I can't tell you like how many earthquakes there have been, right? So
Wow.
it's like it could happen right now as we're on the phone. But it's the fact that this idea of worry or trying to figure out all the outcomes and not being in that wonder
Yes.
of the curiosity that
Mhm.
there are multiple outcomes that I yet can't predict. But what I can do right now is I can be present in this moment, complete, whole. So then I am making the best choices. I am thinking my thoughts, efforts, and actions. And so there's more clarity.
There's the T, thoughts, efforts, actions.
Yep.
Correct?
Yes. T.
All right. T. Ah, yeah, man. So let go of control. And they're like, what? There's things we can't control, Rob. It's like, yeah. So let's get into that one.
Well, I just used an example of what a miserable day it is, and for anyone that's watching this, right? I'm glad we're small, but I keep looking out the window because I'm watching this bank of fog that is approaching my balcony, and soon, if the door was open, the fog would actually come in the house, which is really really cool.
Right?
But so
Yeah.
and so control. How many people before they go on vacation are in their head, oh, I hope the weather's going to be good? I mean, almost as if they think that if they think hard enough, they'll control the weather, right?
Or
Like,
they'll bring just the right stuff.
right. So this control, again, we can control our T, our thoughts, efforts, and actions.
Yeah.
Um, but all the other things we're giving energy towards, we know we can't really control our income. Hopefully we're going to have a job. We could get fired, a company could go bankrupt, whatever. But
Right.
we believe there's a certain amount of control. But there are so many things that are outside of our control. Death, for sure, out of our control. Aging, yes, we can dye our hair and we can get the Botox and we can do everything else. And when we start to engage in that type of behavior where we're trying to control what really is out of our control, we start to feel, and I'm going to use a word that most men don't like to hear. So we will feel impotent.
Oh,
Internally, we will know we can't control it, and that we're in a situation where we're weak, we're impotent. It's a losing battle. We will become fearful because we're recognizing that we're not in control. So
mhm.
all the things that we put our energy towards where we're fooling ourselves there's some type of control. One of the things I like to do with my clients is we talk about an energy audit. Where is your energy really going? Because
Yeah.
if it's
Right.
going to those things, it's not producing anything. It's not amplifying you. It's just going down the drain, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea of the energy audit or understanding the idea of control is what is really under your control.
Yeah.
Focus on that. That will empower you. The more
Brilliant.
empowered you are, the more joyful you are.
Yeah, man.
Because
Thank
life then is one of the phrases I like to say is, you know, you're not being used by life, you are using life.
Mhm.
That's empowerment. And when you use life, you'll see all the joy and wonder and everything else. And so,
Yeah, and that just takes us back to that whole temporary place of being, right? So it's temporary, folks. Experience the moment when you got it, whilst you got it.
whilst you
I
got
love
it.
it.